In this video, I want to take you through a really simple process to setting up a campaign that generates high quality leads on autopilot for you and your business. I'm going to take you through the full setup from A to Z, start to finish, and I'll also show you how to optimize it and what to look out for once you actually have the campaign up and running. So let's just get right into it and let's just go. So first things first, inside your ad account, there's a few different options that we can do as far as objective goes to actually set this up. I'm going to do something that's really, really simple that doesn't require a pixel. It doesn't require messing with a landing page. It's just easy. And that is going to be a Facebook lead form. Now, a lot of people have tons of different thoughts about whether a lead form is good for quality leads or it's not. I've worked with businesses, tons of businesses that have done lead forms and some that haven't. I've had cases where landing pages generate worse leads than a lead form. I've also had cases where lead form generates the best kind of leads compared to a landing page and vice versa. So you just gotta kind of test it out. There are ways to get great leads from a lead form. You actually just have to set it up the right way. A lead's a lead, and if you're getting bad ones, something's wrong with how it's set up. It's not always just the kind of the process that you're taking people through. So let's get right into it. So we'll hit leads, go to continue, and I recommend always doing the manual leads campaign, and this manual setup just ends up working a little bit better. From there, we can just call this lead gen test 1, and we'll go next. And then from there, we'll choose instant forms, and then you can choose whatever page that we're going with from there, right? So you'll keep going. Obviously, just accept the terms for lead gen if you haven't done it before. Now, daily budget. Ideally, we want to be getting leads around $10 to $20 per lead. Even if it's a qualified lead, a little bit more expensive is fine. And that's what I want you to think of. I don't want you to think of, oh, I want to get leads for $2 and that's the best thing. I want you to think of what's the most you're willing to pay for a lead if they're high quality. And you can just reverse engineer that. So say you have a product or an offer where it's $300. Well, if you're willing to pay, let's say $200 for a lead, that's quality. And then you know that you close 50% of the leads that you get, right? Let's say a $300 product. Well, you could probably spend about $150 a lead, because if you get 2 of them, you're going to close 1 and you're break even. Worst case scenario. So do that kind of math backwards. That should determine your daily budget. If you're willing to spend $100 a lead, I'd recommend starting your budget around between $30 to $50 a day. Closer to 50, the better. Now, at first, launch your ad at a little bit of a lower budget. I'd recommend around 20 to 30 to start. And then once it's spending and it's healthy, get it up to $50 a day as soon as you can. Once again, if you're willing to spend 100 or so per lead, right? But 30 to 50 is a good starting point, regardless. Now here we want to look at audience. Now this is something that a lot of people love to look at, to think, hey, this is where I can get the quality of leads dialed in. This is where it really matters. It does matter, but it's not the end all be all. It really comes down to the creative and copy and how that's going to attract the right kind of people. So we'll start with just the age range. Let's say my ideal age range is between 30 to 40. I'm going to give Facebook a little bit of breathing room. I'll do 27 to 45, right? A little bit of breathing room, awesome. Then for detailed targeting, what I would recommend setting up is 3 different trenches of targeting. So we'll duplicate this 2 more times, and we'll have 3 ad sets in total. The first ad set is going to be broad. So you'll do broad, you'll do your 27 to 45, that's it, nothing else. Now, if you're wary of quality or if you're having trouble with quality, try out some different location targeting. Instead of just all of the US, do very specific locations that you know are solid. So let's say, I don't know, let's say you know an area in Florida, like Anna Maria Island. There's like good quality people, fine. You can just target that area, right? And you can start kind of dropping in some different areas. So say you're gonna do like Wesley Chapel, for example. Let's say in Texas, you know, like Arlington is good. And I could be totally off. I'm just using examples here. Let's do another one. Let's say, you know, like, I don't know, Mason, Ohio is a good one. What else? And you can make these radiuses a lot smaller as well, right? I don't know. Let's say you want to do Los Angeles, California. And same thing, so you're not so broad, you can make it a lot smaller. This is if you're really nervous about quality, do some research, choose some locations that you know there's just people living there that can afford whatever you're offering, right? This is a lot easier if you're not local, right? If you're local to, let's say, Arlington, Texas, and you don't have a choice and you have to advertise there, it is what it is. But if you have a choice and you can go out around it, if you were just going to target all of the US and you're nervous of targeting, go a little bit broader. Pick some of these different states, locations, cities, and you'll be in good shape. So that's the first one, broad. Then we'll do the exact same thing, but this time it's going to be softwares. Softwares is a really great way to target people. A lot of people don't think about it, and I'd recommend trying it out. So let's say you want to start with like MailChimp. Whoa. I hate when it does that. MailChimp. Then you hit suggestions, HubSpot, Salesforce, Constant Contact, Infusionsoft. Great. I'd recommend for these detailed targeting options to target between 5 to 8 different interests. 5 being the minimum, 8 I would do no more than 8 because it'll just make it too broad. So there's that. And then the last one we can do is influencers. Now this one that I'm targeting is for business owners. So you may change these around if you're doing different, like targeting different kinds of people. So like let's say, I don't know, you weren't targeting business owners and you were just targeting like everyday people. What softwares may they use? I don't know if this will show up, but you could do things like Rocket Money. That's not there. Let's see. Okay, like Rocket Lawyer, like there's one. And let's see if we can get more softwares here that anyone would use, not just business owners. Let's see if I just type in software. Okay, here. So like productivity software could be a good one. That's pretty general. Maybe Trello. Some people could use that if they're not in business. Let's pick a couple of these. Evernote, like see, people will use that stuff. So let's get rid of Asana. Evernote, Dropbox potentially. That's not a bad one. LinkedIn, maybe. The thing about different apps, softwares people would use, it's going to take a little bit more work to figure it out, but you can see how just thinking through of it, doing some research, and hitting suggestions, you'll find what you're looking for. The last one is influencers. Pretty simple here. It can literally be any influencers. If you're going after just broad and anyone, you could do things like, I don't know if Kevin Hart's in here. There you go. So you do like Kevin Hart, hit suggestions, and there you go. You could do Eddie Murphy, Adam Sandler. You could go through and do different influencers or reputable people, right? If you're going more business owner route, like this one that I'm setting up, for example, you can do people like Brendan Burchard. Let's see, we may need to start with one that I know works. So start with Russell Brunson, suggestions, there we go, Gary Vee, Brendan Burchard, whoops. Marie Forleo, Simon Sinek, so on and so forth, Brian Tracy. You could go through and add those through. Easy way to get some good people. It's a good 3-step test to see broad, softwares, influencers. You could go another layer. Instead of softwares, you could do books or authors more specifically, and you can kind of go from there. Now, once you have that set up, one thing I would recommend is on the placement section to go manual, remove audience network, and remove search results and in-stream. If you have a video ad, you can keep those. I'd recommend getting rid of them, like all these video placements, especially if you're doing a static image. From there, we'll go to the ad, and we'll actually create whatever we want to make here. So what I'd recommend is doing a single image or video and making sure you really, really lean into who you're going after, the ideal target market, and make it seem really, really valuable. I think one of the best things that you can do is do a black on white, very simple post that simply is just calling out the ideal prospect, telling them the problem that you can solve, and giving them some kind of piece of value. I have other videos on my channel showing what some of those look like, and I can go more in detail in the other ones, or in another video as well. Another thing that you can do is in the primary text, I'd really recommend calling out people. So if you're looking for business owners, think about something that only a business owner would know. It's just saying, calling all business owners, that's just corny, and it's just, don't do it. I think it's just not unique enough, right? So instead, I would think of something like business owners that have a team of 5 or more are flocking to this little known software that billionaires like Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates are using to manage their teams on autopilot. That's a pretty chunky like lead-in. However, it looks pretty solid because then you can see here this initial thing that people are looking at, kind of what that actually looks like, right? You can see what people are seeing initially. And then Facebook will always give different text variations. I'd recommend trying something out like that. Now, finally, when you're setting up these lead forms, this is a really great way to qualify people a lot more. So in this group form, or in this form, go to intro and let me make a new one because this one doesn't have what I want. Okay. There we go. So right here, this is where you can qualify people a lot more. In the headline, put the value of the thing that they're going to get. So you could like say, get this software, whatever the value is or whatever the promise is, but then call out the person again, right? Business owners with 5 or more. Whoops. On their team, right? I have to tweak it a little bit. 5+ employees. This is a really easy spot to just qualify people again. Anywhere that you can qualify, anywhere that you can show, hey, this is who it's for, this who it's not for, the better, right? You can go through the list, and you can just say value, benefit, and you can kind of go through and do that whole thing throughout. There's nothing too much there. Questions, this is where you can also qualify people a little bit more, but don't go overboard here. I would recommend doing name, email, phone number, and one qualifying question to start, and then you can go from there. At that point, you'll insert your privacy policy, and then you'll do the completion. And from this step, there's a couple different things you can do. You can send them to a website to do the next step, but most people don't act on what's here. So what I would recommend is if you're giving something away, put the download thing right here. So you can say, go or download the thing you wanted, right? And then you can add a link for like the direct thing of the download. So it's like a PDF or a JPEG or something like that, or a link. Put that link here. People will always click that link. In most cases, if you're telling them, oh, go to this website, thanks, or go book a call, people will ignore it. But if in the ad you've said, hey, you will get the thing on the thank you page, they'll stick around and they'll see it, and you'll at least get their attention that way. So this is a really easy way that I like to set up lead forms to generate qualified leads on autopilot. Don't get too obsessed with the audience targeting. Really dial in, like I mentioned here, focus on the copy and calling out the right person, and the rest will do the work for you. Now, if you like that video and you're launching this stuff, I'd recommend that you check out our free cheat sheet. This is completely free. You'll see it in the description, and you can join our free group where you'll get access to it. This is a full cheat sheet on the KPIs, what they mean, and how to influence them. There's also a deeper dive here of this funnel diagnostic sheet that you can get as well. And it gives you basically the KPI, what it means, what it affects, and then how you can actually influence it with short little training videos. So if you want access to it, check the description, join the group. It's totally free. You can also ask questions and have me review your ads. I don't mind. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next one.